Happy Saturday. So, I decided to jump on while I was waiting for my tea to brew and just kind of talk about my day today and all that happened, which wasn't a whole lot, but I got to spend some time with my niece. So, my mother, myself, my niece, her mother, and her sister, we all went to the zoo today. And I myself have not been to the zoo. I can easily say it since I was my niece's age, a little girl. Um, and it was nice. They've done a lot. Um, I can't even say since I've been there. I honestly don't remember what the old zoo used to look like, honestly. So it was a really nice place. The only like hiccup thing, because I know like how some people feel about zoo and animal in captivity and all those things. So the only like animal that really gave me concern today was a single tiger in its enclosure, because I'm not sure if it was a male or a female, but they had a pretty huge enclosure. Yet this little tiger was literally pacing back and forth about the length of, I would say, your average house door, like up and down that little line. The whole time we stood there looking at this tiger, it was just pacing back and forth that for that little in that little space, and he or she weren't closed off from anything, but they were just pacing right there, and I was like, that's it. Just seemed concerning. Um, but the place was nice. The girls really enjoyed it, and on top of that, they have like Halloween stuff mixed in with it. So, that was fun to see some of the little Halloween events and things that they had going. And it was for her birthday. It was a belated birthday outing, and she really enjoyed herself. And we were able to get our tickets. You pay for one day, you come back all year. Only it's till the end of 2025. So there will be more trips to the zoo since we have those tickets that last until next year, the end of next year. So that'll be something that we could just get out and do if we needed an activity or something. I keep my niece, like when I have her here with me, I keep her pretty entertained. We're doing something or we're out in nature. Like, I'm not really big on amusement parks, spending money on amusement parks. I'm really not. But she really wanted to go to the zoo, and I was like, okay, you know. So that's what we did. And since we bought the all year passes, why not, use it and just make it a thing that we do every once in a while, once a month or once a quarter or whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure that out. So, in picking up my niece today, though, the area took me back to my old daycare. And I realized we were in the area, and a prior visit, I wanted to go by and see if it was, if it was still there, it still looked the same and everything. And all these years later, this place is still called what it was when I went there. And my like biggest memory about that place is this huge rocket that we used to climb up all the way up to the top. You could climb up there, and it's still there. It still looks the same. Like it still has the same layout from what I could see from the street. And it was just so like beautiful because I love that place. So I used to go to this daycare. I used to go to daycare after school when I went to this particular elementary school. And my brother was already at this daycare because he was, younger than me. He wasn't in school yet. And so, like, the memories, they just, they came back so easily. Like, I can remember getting off the bus, going into the daycare, and, we would have different teachers because I was older. But sometimes we would all be outside at the same time. And I can remember like getting off the bus, going to my class, and we'd finally go outside after we put our stuff up. And if my brother happens to see me from his class, he immediately leaves his class, runs across the courtyard to give me a hug. I do remember that. Um, and I remember my favorite teacher, Miss Patty. That was her name, and I was attached to this lady's hip. And that's what I mean. Like, I have never been like a sociable person. I've always been, a teacher's pet. I was always like, preferred to be close to my teachers, hang with my teachers, help my teachers grade stuff, go hang out with during school, just like during school. But I love Miss Patty, and she loved me. Okay, I don't care. Nobody could tell me any different. That lady was so good to me, so sweet to me. And I was talking to my mom, about her experience with the daycare, and she never had any complaints or anything about bad to say about that place. She did trust us in the care of the staff at this daycare. And she was talking about the owners at the time and how, like, they would help her out, sometimes keeping the kids a little later just for the sake of getting off work. And then one time she got caught up in a situation, and they held on to us until she was able to get there to us. And just an overall really great experience. I think I only attended this place for about a year because we only, maybe two. We didn't live out there that long before we moved back to our old neighborhood or whatever. And yeah, it was just so nice to see that place again and think about Miss Patty, which she would be an old lady by now if she hadn't already passed on. But she really, like, yeah, I remember her. I remember her. And she was like, at the time she was the older white lady. But she was so sweet. She was so sweet. And then we used to have field trips. They used to take us out to eat. And back in my time as a little girl, because these restaurants don't even exist anymore, they used to take us to this place called Ponderosa all the time. And I remember Miss Bush. She used to drive the van, and when we came back to the school, she used to always do these squiggly lines down the road and have us just like moving in the seats because she was swerving. There we go. She was be swerving down the road on the way back to the daycare to just kind of like make it fun for us and everything. It was just a really good experience. That was a really nice daycare with great people and very sweet teachers, and just really awesome being greeted by my brother with a hug when I did get the chance to see him on some of those days. So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was really, really cool. It was a nice moment of reflection and just, going down memory lane. What else? So it was a pretty good day though. I got her a gift, which I dropped it off before we left for the zoo. So hopefully, she enjoys it. I love being her auntie. I really do. Like I don't want to have children, sure enough, but I'm so glad I have that little girl in my life. I'm so glad that I get to be here for her and be her auntie. I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful for that relationship. And I pray that I'm around to see her into, adulthood. I really do. I really hope I'm around to see the person she grows into. Because she's so sweet. She's so loving. She reminds me a lot of myself. Because she's so sensitive. She's so sensitive and nurturing. She's empathetic. She's a really good kid. And I love that she's here. I love what she adds to my life, and that she loves me, and she gives like so many hugs, and I love that. I love the unexpected hugs from her, or when she just grabbed my hand when we're out and about. But yeah, so back to like the loner type thing. So that made me think about like all through grade school. And this could have like, I know for a fact that once I became aware of my hearing loss, when it came to school, I've always made it a thing to always sit in the front of every class I ever had. I always made it a point to sit in the front because that 9 times out of 10, that's where the teacher is. Unless you have that one random teacher that likes to walk around the classroom, then they be like, oh man, oh brother, kind of thing. But I just wanted to say, like, all through school though, like I have always been like a teacher's pet. Like I will always assist my teachers with just different things here and there or whatever. And like elementary school, not so much, of course. I spent like time. I can't even say. So like elementary school, I can't say how social I was with other people. I really can't recall. I do recall my favoriteest teacher though, and I had quite a few. And then I'll never forget the meanest teacher I ever had. But she meant well. Looking back now, she meant well. But that lady was mean. She was second grade. She was mean. Okay. And then in middle school, sixth grade sucked. Sixth grade was just hard for me. It was just adjusting from the workload of elementary to the workload of middle school. So I mean, I struggled. I really did. But I've never been like a plus student or whatever because I was more than satisfied with a C. More than satisfied, okay? And so sixth grade was just hard. There was some bullying happening in middle school, which I mean, I'm sure we all had a touch of that. And I was friendly with like the some of the kids in my neighborhood. but not really. And then I left halfway through seventh grade, went to another middle school. My experience there was slightly different. So let me see. When I went to the other middle school, I was actually put, hard of hearing, I was actually put in a class that I used to go to at the end of the day. And then I started at for like homeroom, and then I go out and do my regular, regular classes. And this class was hard of hearing and deaf kids, but majority of them were deaf and signing. And so yeah, I think there was two hard of hearing kids in there. One of them is a childhood friend that happened to go there. And I was so glad to see her. And another thing was that the middle school I had just left, my first day at the new middle school included a girl from my old middle school. And I was like, oh my God. So we were friends there too. But yeah, so this class I used to spend the beginning and end of my day at had mostly deaf kids in there, and they were signing. I learned a little bit, but not enough to really hold on to. But it was cool. I remember having to spell out everything that I had to say as I was trying to grasp signing. But like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time there. So yeah. But when they went on field trips and stuff, I was invited to come along with them. When they had like special things going on, I would be over there with that class as well. And my childhood friend that was in there, she spoke. She is hard of hearing, but she did speak, and she was able to like comprehend and everything like that. So I used to talk to her a little bit, but she actually prefers to sign. At least back then she did. She preferred to sign, but she could speak as well, so we would be able to talk. And then high school. High school, I would say in all honesty, I had one that I can consider a friend at that time. One friend in high school and a bunch of acquaintances. Everybody else was acquaintances. Which was cool. Now in high school, I didn't do a lot of hanging out. I used to eat lunch with the same two girls that were a year ahead of me. And if I wasn't with them, I have stayed in the cafeteria or in the little outside picnic area and just get a table by myself and eat and read. Or I would spend my lunch in the library. Or I used to hang out with my photography slash art teacher. She used to have like a lot of stuff going on, or just let me go and create and make art during my lunch period. I used to spend so much time with her in her classroom because she had like photography stuff. She had just like it's art. She's the art teacher. She had like all kind of stuff going on. So I used to just go in there, hang out with her, and do stuff. And then the kicker with my high school, I might have mentioned this already, but my high school art slash photography teacher, she was actually my elementary art teacher too. I was so surprised to see her at my high school, and I stayed at the same high school for all 4 years. I was so shocked to see her, and she remembered me, and and she was the sweetest. She was the sweetest lady. And kids used to disrespect her all the time. It used to just hurt my feelings that they would like, just get on her to the point of her crying. I saw that once or twice. And Yeah, but she was so sweet to me. I used to spend like a lot of time with her, getting like art stuff together. I used to go in there after school to like develop photos in the photography darkroom. I used to help her with all kind of stuff, and like she used to make like huge pieces, and she taught me like how to make a mural using like scraps of magazine papers to like coordinate the colors, and it was just always so stimulating, like just mentally and spiritually stimulating, just creating with her. And she was just so sweet, she was so kind. And I had an awesome zoology teacher. He was funny. I had a very eccentric English teacher for my senior year. He God rest his soul, and God rest her soul too. Both of them have passed on. But and I actually shed tears when I found out my old photography teacher had passed on, because yeah, I got to have her as a little girl, and I got to experience her again as a young lady in high school, and it was just like a full circle thing for me. So I guess this video is about nostalgia. Yeah, I don't know. I'm reminiscing. I'm just going with it. And so like overall though, high school was all right. Would I do it again? No. Um yeah, I didn't know. I didn't hang out. I didn't do all of that. Like my senior year, I never did the homecoming stuff. I didn't go to prom. I went to grad bash, which was all right. Um, excuse me. But yeah, I didn't do a lot of socializing. So that's why I know like I am pretty much a loner, and nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with that. And then I graduated high school, even though they tried to kick me out halfway through my senior year because they found out that our address had changed. Ain't it crazy? Halfway through my senior year, I'm saying I literally only got 5 months to go. And we did move, but again, it was my senior year. Like, why would I want to go and get assigned to another high school for my last year of high school? Like, come on. So they found out. That was a whole mess. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting about another person that is so instrumental in my life. So, um, okay, hard of hearing. So I did have an IEP, which gave me I call them resource teachers. This lady, Miss Vicky, she was literally like my school mom. I had her in elementary school. I had her in middle school. And then when I left middle school, left my first middle school and went to my second middle school, she made sure to put me in touch with the lady she trusted at that school. And then when I came back into my neighborhood to go to my local high school, she was there. She was there. Miss Vicky is like I said, she was like my school mom. And I saw her a good 2, maybe 3 times a week. She would come and see about me to see if I needed anything, to see if I needed any services, which the IEP did come in handy in high school because I did need extra time testing. Standardized testing. The state test were the devil. Okay, I have never been so stressed. That's a whole nother thing. Okay, so the IEP did give me that. And then I do remember another time where I had a I had a Spanish test for Spanish class. I think it was Spanish 2. And so the Spanish final, and I don't know who bright idea this was, but the final was us listening to this raggedy cassette tape. And when I say raggedy, it was raggedy. Up and down and it was raggedy. We had to listen to this man on this tape in this raggedy recorder say a sentence in Spanish, and then we had to translate which A, B, and C was the correct translation. And I can say I did not wear hearing aids. Like, let me see. I got my first pair kindergarten, first grade, maybe. I wore them in elementary school. I was ashamed of them in middle school. I wore them until I broke them on purpose in middle school. I want to say I don't think I wore them in high school, or maybe I did, but it was not for long. Which is why, again, I chose to sit as close to the teacher as I could. Which is also a part of my IEP as well, was to get preferential seating. And then, yeah, so the Spanish test, it was garbled. Like, it was just so insane. And I couldn't hear half of the crap that was coming off this raggedy tape. So I failed. And I explained the situation to Miss Vicky, and she talked to my teachers and everybody, and she administered the test for me herself, which was a great help. So, and she stood up for me, like with the situation with them trying to ship me off 5 months before graduation. Tom is going to the correct high school for the last 5 months before graduation, and I'm sitting here crying, stressed, because she threatening to call the school bus to come and get me and take me to my correct high school. Like, literally just drop me off. And I remember freaking out. I was crying. My mama came over there because she worked in the area. She came over there. They stressed her out to the point of her nose bleeding. And then Miss Vicky was like, telling them about their behinds. And I ended up staying at my school. I ended up finishing my last 5 months of school. And let me tell you this, senioritis, that is some real crap. It was a struggle getting to the graduation day. Okay, every day was just a struggle. And I managed to keep up with all my classes and stuff, so I didn't have too much to catch up on in during senior year, because they don't hold you back no more. You just get promoted, and whatever you didn't pass before, it just get added to your next school year. So you just really had to stay on top of that stuff, because baby, you could have the hardest senior year of your life if you trying to like do all of those core classes and get all that stuff done and pass. So I ain't have to worry about nothing too much senior year, except, what did I repeat? I think I had to repeat geometry. I think I had to, repeat geometry, but everybody had to repeat geometry. I think only 3 people had passed, but that's because they had a science teacher teaching it, because they didn't have no geometry teacher to teach geometry. So we all failed, except for those 3 people, which I think they were just like gifted or geniuses or whatever. Where was I going? I don't even know. I forgot. I graduated. Oh, yeah. The only thing I had to worry about senior year was passing the standardized testing. Okay, okay. You know what was so crazy to me is that English was my favorite subject. But for the life of me, I could not pass the state standardized reading comprehension testing. I failed it my junior year. I couldn't take it again until the fall of my senior year. And I had to pass this in order to graduate. So, my senior year English teacher um was hosting before senior year started, was hosting a summer reading camp. Come if you want to. It wasn't mandatory. But I knew I needed to pass this test in order to graduate. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna worry about going to school during the summer. I'm just gonna knock this out because I gotta pass this stupid test. I took his summer course and I was so thankful for it. We worked 101 so that I can better grasp whatever it was that I needed in order for me to pass this state test. Because it would be so crazy to have all your core classes together, passed and ready and on your record, and you don't graduate. And it happened to some people. And you don't graduate because you didn't pass the state test. Whew, it was pressure. But I really felt good after that summer program. And baby, when I took the test, and I felt good about it. And then I just forgot about it because I had to wait on the results. And then I ended up getting called down to see my guidance counselor, and she was like, "You passed." I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." Right? Because that was just like a weight around my neck, like a weight on my shoulders. Was that dumb test? I don't even know why they got that even happening, but I know it's all tied into funding, which I don't know what funding it is because all these schools is jacked up. But whatever, I digress. This was a nice little nostalgia rambling session because I sure feel like I done rambled through that whole thing. And look at it, it's going on 33 minutes. But it's cool. It's cool. I hope y'all had a good day. And I hope tomorrow is even better. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for good days. And the weather was perfection. So we're in Florida. We are in autumn. And it's been like some slight coolness in the air, not too much. But anything under 70, I consider like, oof, my coat, That's just the Floridian in me. I do not like cold weather. I don't even like cool weather. But I welcome it because, we do need the weather to change. We do need the ocean to cool down. We do need, cold enough weather for certain produce. So, like, when you look at it like that, it makes you more open to welcoming the changing seasons. I'll see y'all around.